Greetings, love, and peace to everyone. I just wanted to do this video really quickly as I'm thinking about, we human beings on planet Earth and how we go through this life journey of evolving, growing, changing, and discovering who we are to ourselves and to the world. I have known for a number of years now what part of my life purpose is on being on this earth. Personally, it's always been one of worth. Outwardly, it's always been one of communicating and sharing. I'm a person who, if you know me very well, if you know me very closely, I don't really believe in staying trapped in a hole too long. All of us have pitfalls, all of us have issues that we go through, things that we have suffered in life, and it gets us down. It causes us to stop and pause. It emotionally and psychologically sometimes arrests us. And again, those of you that know me very well and know my story, know my life, you can immediately and quickly imagine a few of those things, which I'm always free to talk about. But of course, as a human being, you feel pangs, you feel the stress and the trauma of things that you've been through. And in this video, the idea of worth is something that I just wanted to bring up again really quickly, because in 2018, this past Thanksgiving, I kind of went into a place that is not new, but it felt like someplace I have visited too many times. The other side of that is knowing that as a particular kind of black man walking around on planet Earth, I'm not ever trying to give you the idea of ratchetness, ghetto, hood, the gangster, so on and so forth and the other. And I wasn't raised like that. Thankfully, there were, some of those things around me because it exists in the world in general. But for me personally, it's always been about excellence. And I never really understood, especially at a younger age, why that was for me, why I felt that way, or why I needed to portray that. But I can say things like growing up in church were a huge blessing for me. Growing up around certain people in my life were a huge blessing for me. And really kind of coming to the realization at a young age that excellence was what I wanted to pursue. So again, this past Thanksgiving, I kind of shut down, and I went into this emotional place that I'm really actually kind of still in, processing some things, researching ideas and ambitions and goals and just life in general. When I go into that place, I do not find it easy to share all of that with others, because I just think it requires too much explanation or something. Part of it could be, blocking a blessing and sharing, but that again is part of why I'm making this video. All of us have something in our life that we understand, something we do well, something we know about ourselves. And I'll just give you a quick example. You could be a nurturer, and you may love to cook. I cannot stand to stand in front of the stove, so that's not my gift. I'm not ever going to cook anything for you or anybody else. Barely cook for myself. Cook what I want. But if you're a nurturer or someone who likes to cook, those two go well together because you may throw dinner parties. Someone's sick, you immediately jump in and you want to cook some chicken noodle soup or something for, a person or people, and you go and you give that to the person. You may volunteer, at a homeless shelter or, a hospice care unit, whatever that is. These are the things that typically occupy my mind and the reason and point for this video, what I'm kind of talking about here today. Those things that we understand and know about ourselves and how we use them. For me, I feel like I'm still kind of discovering that a little bit, even though I know exactly what it is already. Oh my gosh, this would just go into so much of a long video, but growing up, I've always been a communicator. Growing up, I've always had self-worth and confidence. I love who I am. But it's taken me all these years to get to a place where I feel like here's how I really want to present those things that I have on my heart and my mind. Now I have to speak a little astrologically here for a moment. In my birth chart, which can actually be seen, my Astro Movie Profile -Douglas on YouTube. In my birth chart, I have an asteroid called Chiron in my 3rd house in Aries. And Chiron is the healing aspect or the healer aspect. Again, for those of you who know me, the guru aspect, sometimes we call it. That in the 3rd house of communication signifies a lot of how I communicate. I've always been an encourager. I've always had inspired thoughts, poems, songs, whatever. So as I end this video, pretty much the thing that I wanted to explore in my life at this point is that expression, that platform, that idea that is shared with someone else to help them be a better person. Something that's shared with the world to make it a better world. That's kind of a mandate that I have. Again, speaking astrologically, 10th house issues, and maybe even 9th house issues, especially for me. So I'm going to attempt, as I see fit, to unload some of these things, to unveil a little bit more of these things and kind of share a little bit more of my internal insights. Surprisingly, this introduction is not really a 1000% representation of what I'm speaking of, but send your good vibes. It's something that is very timely for me in a lot of ways. It's something that is causing a lot of reflection. And my phone's ringing. So I'll end that right there. And let's see what happens next. and we'll just call this worth. Okay, I'll make that my title. Thanks, you guys. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. That's my ending music, my outro. Bye.